Welcome to the POS Podcast. Everybody's here today, the mainstays. Tom, Saber, Jim. How are you guys?
Good.
We're doing okay.
Can't complain.
Saber's the surprise.
Yeah. How was San Diego?
It was good. I had a lot of fun. What a neat city. Like, God, California's got some great cities, but San Diego in particular is really cool because it's not like a huge city. It's not like there's a lot of towering skyscrapers. It's just spread out, if that makes any sense.
It's very spread out.
I think they have a city ordinance where a building can't be a certain height in certain parts of the city, because we went to this. Yeah, well, the resort we went to for the convention was more like a lodge, and there was and it was Ray Spence who noticed this. He was like, I think there has to be some kind of rule about this because all the buildings like are the same size. And not the same size, but there's a certain height, I think, restriction.
I think it's because of earthquakes.
That's very possible. Also, maybe because, like, I thought to kind of prevent it from becoming like a Panama Beach, where it's like, huge hotels and lofts everywhere and high rises. But no, I enjoyed it. I got to see a bunch of cool boats, good people, good weather.
Swam in fish guts.
I swam in fish guts. It was so cold, man. It was so cold. And one of my favorite highlights, though, and I wanted to share this with you, Paleo, is when we were there, when Jeffrey, Sarah, and Matt and I were near the docks, we saw this blob move around the water. We're like, well, more like me. I freaked out. I'm like, and I'm like, is that a seal? And it raised its head out. I'm like, it's a seal. And I've never seen one in the wild before. And I was like, good God, first off, I'm like, it's huge. Like, this thing's big. And
It's probably the sea lion.
Oh, it's definitely a sea lion because it had the ears. And there are these two docks that went out into this little, like, landing area for the boat with some stones around it, except for one little part where the boats can leave. And we went down one part of the dock, and it kind of came up to us, and then it went away. And then we looked at the other dock, and we saw it jump out onto the dock, and this guy was feeding fish to it. So we ran over to that side of the dock, and I got like within like 5 feet of the seal, and we were looking at it, and it was eating fish out of this guy's hand, and it was just the craziest. I'm like, apparently the seal's a local. It's famous. It's called Sammy. It has a YouTube channel. Apparently, I need to look that up actually.
Whoa.
Yeah. Wow. It has a YouTube channel. It's 400 pounds, enormous. And what's so fun, it was so sassy. It's funny how animals can have personality. Like, I know dogs, but it's every animal, like, except for, like, the really dumb ones, like bugs. Like, God, I hate
when you said bugs, I thought you meant, like, Bugs Bunny, for some reason.
Oh, yeah, that's super
It was like, except for the dumb shit,
watching
like bugs.
too many commercials. I mean, too many cartoons and commercials. Bugs is in commercials, too.
But, I mean, just the idea of, like, I guess mammals are smart enough to I guess have personalities.
Yeah.
And just the seal, because after he was out of fish, the seal like waltzed over in the back, sniffed it, and he just threw his head up like this, and just kind of ignored us. And we were kind of talking about it for a couple of seconds, and you hear him go, "Arr!" and just let out a loud bark.
The friggin' sea lion bark was like, "Arr!"
And then he just flops, or he went into the water, and I'm like, God, for 400 pounds, this thing left a smaller splash than I would have done. Like, even if I could dive in, like, this thing is just so graceful. Like, seeing it swim around the water, I'm just so cool. And also, a lot of Navy ships there. I think I saw like 3 aircraft carriers that were stationed there.
There's a naval base in San Diego.
It's big. I think it's one of the biggest ones we have. We saw a lot of helicopters and airplanes flying around. It's so cool how busy it is, and just kind of observing life around you. And everyone was such fantastic moods. It was great. I enjoyed it. It was a good con.
Yeah, if it happens next year, I definitely want to go there and like show you around places.
I think it is. It's fine. I'm like, everything was great. What a good con. I'm like, all those things have nothing to do with the con except they were in the same area. The con was fine too. Everybody was in great spirits. There are these 2 guys in particular that cracked me up, who wore these like Master Chief outfits.
Yeah, I saw that in the vlogs.
Oh my God, they're hilarious because they have these little intercoms. You can hear them talking. They sound like Red vs. Blue characters.
Wow.
Awesome.
And I said, Race, get them for the next Bronies React. And I think he's going to do it. So we're going to get those guys. But yep, that's my report.
All right.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Good.
Jim, how was your week or so of vacation?
Oh, it was good. I went to New Orleans with my in-laws, and I made that video on my channel. And that was a lot of fun. And then I just saw a bunch of movies and chilled out and hung out with the wife and had an awesome New Year's where no one was at the restaurant except for the owners and a few people. So it was like kind of a low key, but not. It was a lot of fun. And I had a Lou Bega hat. And yeah, I don't know. I actually, when Sarah was talking about the con, I was like, I need to go to a con because the video I made for the New Orleans trip, I kind of thought like if I ever get to go to a con, I should do a video like that where it was just like 5 seconds of each place I went cut together. And if I went to a con, I think that would be cool. But
I think you'd like cons. I think.
Well, I shocked some people last night. They're like, "Well, when was the last time you went to a convention?" And I was like, the 90s? And they're like, yeah, they've changed a little since the 90s. I was like, yeah, I guess. I mean, I walked by New York Comic Con, but I didn't go in.
Yeah.
So
New York Comic Con, I
think-
hear, is like really crowded though.
Yeah,
is,
you probably would want to go to a low or at least a smaller con to start off, so you don't have to go to Line Con.
Yeah, the lines are pretty brutal. The one year I went to NYCC was lots of waiting, less doing, but the cosplay there was fucking awesome.
no, there was cool. I did see some cool cosplay. I mean, I just like walked up because, not because I'm super lame, but I heard that there were going to be these food trucks that were made like cool, like they would have like the ice cream from Steven Universe and
yeah.
cool, like animated foods. And the year before, those food trucks were outside the convention. The year I showed up, they decided those food trucks should be inside the convention, and boy did I feel dumb. So but I would like to go to a con if I don't know if anyone brings the POS podcast to a convention.
Yeah.
That would be my
If you
first.
want us to appear at a convention, pay all of our shit because we're poor and cheap.
Yeah.
Hit us up in the comments.
I don't know if I should go to an MLP one since I haven't watched that show yet, but
Yeah, it would be hilarious though, because you'd have no idea what was going on.
That would be the vlog. You just. Be
I
like,
think
oh,
you would have a
fuck
lot
is
of
this?
fun regardless.
What the fuck is this?
no, I think I would have fun, but I'd be like people like would ask like, "What do you think of this?" I'd be like, "Sure."
I'd be the one
That's
asking
one
those
I feel like I'm
questions.
so far behind on. I'll never get there.
Yeah, and there is a convention happening in February in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
what was the deal with that? Are you going to that?
No, unfortunately.
Ow.
Which I'd like to go there just to hang out with you.
I thought we were talking about that, and I was like, oh, I guess that's later, but oh well. But yeah, no, that would be cool. That would be cool. Well, if it ever happens, I would be down, and I'd make one of those.
Jim
videos.
needs to go to BronyCon with us so we can have the magic pizza because he's from New
Yes,
York,
yeah.
so he can say how shitty it is, and then we can all mock him incessantly.
Well, Jim's originally from Baltimore though, so
Yeah, I'm from
and
Baltimore.
BronyCon's in Baltimore.
the struggle.
Actually, if it was in Baltimore, that would work out great because my parents live right near the convention center now, so
Really?
I could chill with them.
Jim, come with us. We'll all crash at your parents, and then we won't have to pay
Yeah.
any fucking hotel fee.
All
That'd be
right.
perfect.
Crash at Jim's parents' house.
Yes.
Well, it's not. The weird thing is, it's not where I grew up. I grew up in suburbia, but they moved recently, so it's like it's weird because like it's my parents' house, but I have like no.
I
My
would call
memories.
that fate. Seems like it's destined to happen. Party at
Well,
Jim's house.
If anyone wants that,
2016.
that would be cool because I haven't been in that convention center for like 20 years. So
Yeah, it's a nice convention center.
no, I remember.
Yeah.
It is. There's extra thick plating to protect us from the drive-by shootings.
Yeah.
That's
The KFC had extra thick plating, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, I told someone. You know how they have glass at the registers and restaurants like that. I told someone those aren't there for protection. Those are there to keep the flavor in. And they like half were like, "Are you? Wait, really?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's why. Have you ever noticed an area gets gentrified and takes forever to take them down? Because the food tastes so good. It keeps the flavor in." And they were like, "Oh wow, really?" Although it does make, I've noticed it makes lines go faster because it makes people nervous. So I don't mind it. I think it's better.
Tom, what about you? How has your past couple weeks or so been?
It's been all right. I mean, I've been sick for a while, so I've kind of been taking it easy. But I got a huge backlog of videos scripted and written and stuff, so hopefully I'll have content coming out regularly because I really want to start getting Sorcerer's Lost like finished up. So I'm like tackling that hardcore over the next month or so, try and put a big dent in it.
Cool.
That's it. That's what I'm doing.
All right. Well, let's talk about something tragic for a minute.
Let's see. The status of my bank account?
But
my love life.
That was good. This is like an old Hollywood comedy. You want to hear something tragic?
Yeah, but we lost like a hugely influential person like last night. And that was David Bowie.
Yeah.
So we found out last night.
Well, no one wanted to believe it. Apparently, no major news story wanted to run with it, and his son, Duncan Jones, who did Moon and Source Code, and is doing the Warcraft movie, confirmed it on Twitter. Yeah, that's his son. His real name is David Jones, and he actually changed it from Davy Jones because at the time the Monkees were popular, and the lead singer of the Monkees is Davy Jones. But so he changed it to David Bowie.
So David Bowie's son like wrote like Source Code and Moon.
Yeah.
And he's doing Warcraft. That's pretty cool.
But he I don't know, it was like probably the reason I just showed up right at 8:30 is because my wife got home. We were just talking about like all of my day was watching. I wanted to get a video out today, but I couldn't because I just kept watching David Bowie music videos and interviews and remembering like, oh my God, he did this. Oh my God, he did that. It's just like he had such a crazy career. And at first with the Labyrinth thing, I was like kind of mad because I was like, how can this be the only thing you remember? And then I thought like, the cool thing is though, he was already incredibly influential and would get the same amount of attention almost for dying for everything he did before Labyrinth. Right. And that's pretty fucking insane. Like he basically influenced all the 80s, like Duran Duran, all those guys came from his influence. And then all the alternative music, and then like Kanye West and Madonna and like so many people. It's like, I was saying to my wife, I think he's more influential than the Rolling Stones, and I think I can back that up. I know that's a tall thing to say, but I think he's probably one of the most influential people of the 20th century. And something that came out today, they were trying to get him to have a cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And they had asked, and they just heard that he wasn't feeling well, and he would try to do it if they could work it out, but it's probably not going to happen. And James Gunn said that the only artist who will have a song in both Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 is David Bowie. He said he'll have a David Bowie song in the second one. Wow. So, but it's just, if you don't know who David Bowie is, get a Ziggy Stardust album. The Ziggy Stardust album or Heroes, or just look at the greatest hits, because I watch stuff all day, and then I watch stuff on the news where they show clips of him and clips of music, and I was like, that's 5 songs I didn't even think about. Like, he's got a lot. He's got like so much stuff, like, or Under Pressure with Queen, or Fame with John Lennon, or it's like Changes and Space Oddity, and Heroes is actually a song he wrote while watching. I have a question. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. I admit I'm not much of a David Bowie fan. Not to say I don't like him. I just don't. Never got a chance to listen to his music. Yeah. And like when I heard about this stuff today, people were like, Ground Control to Major Tom. I'm like, oh, that was David Bowie. I didn't know that. I thought that was somebody else. And I remembered watching this. The guy who made Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, he also made Naruto Abridged. And there's this running gag in that where this one character is like, they call him Bowie Sensei. And he's like, I told you, I'm not David Bowie. And he talks like that. and I'm like, oh, I want to go back and watch that and to see what the comments say. And I watched a sequence where they had a song that had the like bum 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 bada bum bum. I'm like, why are they playing Vanilla Ice? And then I listened to it. I'm like, wait a second, did this song come out before? Wait, did this come out before? Did Vanilla Ice use David Bowie's song?
Yeah,
Did he? Okay, confirmed.
he got sued.
Did he really?
He did get sued because they didn't get permission. The early days of rap and sampling were legally precarious, to say the
Yeah,
least.
like there's one video of like Vanilla Ice saying like no it's different. His is like bum 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 ba da dum dum. Ours is like bum 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 ba da dum dum bum bum bum. Like just that.
Oh my god.
But like the Beastie Boys album Paul's Boutique, which is one of the first rap albums to use a ton of samples, you legally could not make that album now.
Wow.
like they did. No one kind of knew what. I mean, it was new, so they didn't really know. But I get the impression he kind of knew. But whatever. But even also David Bowie had a crazy good film career. He played Nikola Tesla. He played Pontius Pilate. You know. But like it's kind of just insane because as much as there was that cool interview that came out. MTV News put it up of him arguing very calmly and very intelligently with an MTV News person about why don't they play black artists in 1983, and it's like Jesus, like he said so many. I've seen so many interviews with him. I was like, man, he was like beyond incredible. I don't know. I'm pretty cynical about any celebrity death, and I'll like make a joke way too soon and stuff. It was like almost hard to find anyone who wanted to because they were like, I don't know, this is kind of like one of the big deaths of our lifetime. So.
See, that's interesting. I never knew him that well, so like, just seeing everyone's reaction, I'm like, wow, everybody like, it's not like, I don't know, like the Robin Williams thing was sad when he did his thing, and then I mean Michael Jackson, that was sad, and I guess I'm kind of getting the same vibe from them for David Bowie, where it's like, oh no, we lost. It sounded like we truly lost a great artist, a creator, and that's a bummer.
I mean, it's I think if you don't know Bowie, just like look at some of the hits and go from there.
Yeah, and he's
I'm excited.
He's had a ton of cameos and things, and I found out yesterday, and I kind of just remembered it, is that there's actually a game that David Bowie was in called Omicron: The Nomad Soul that was on the Dreamcast.
Really?
And he like had input on the storyline, and he did the soundtrack for it. Yeah.
Wow. No, but that's the cool thing about him is like as I kept reading, I was like, oh, and he did this, and he produced, the Iggy Pop song "Lust for Life." He produced that. Like he produced so much stuff as well.
Yeah. If you look at his IMDb page, the soundtrack like section is like 450 like credits long.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, and he was a character in Venture Brothers.
Yeah.
Which he apparently would not appear on.
Yeah.
He did appear on SpongeBob, but he wouldn't be David Bowie in he wouldn't be David Bowie in Venture Brothers, but the character of David Bowie's in Venture Brothers.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know, it's
and there's also the Zoolander cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's kind of insane, and I think it's going to be a week before I can kind of listen to everything I want to listen to. Even it's just like kind of crazy, but as a fact to like kind of close it out is that song Heroes. He was in Berlin for a while recording a lot of stuff. He did like a Berlin trilogy of 3 albums, and that song Heroes, as cool as it is, which kind of adds a lot of depth to it for me and got me back into it 5 years ago or so, is he actually wrote it because he saw 2 kids trying to climb over the Berlin Wall, and they were gunned down and killed. And when you listen to Heroes thinking of that, it's like kind of makes it ironic and fleeting and be like, we can do this even though we're going to get shot to hell. Which is kind of makes the song a lot more meaningful. Like I could never really get into that song. And then when I heard that, I was like, oh shit, and that he kind of captures that. Like, I don't know. It's a crazy, I mean, they led the evening news with it.
Yeah.
And they don't just do that for anybody. So I think people will still be influenced by him in 50, 60, 100 years from now. And there's not a lot of people we can say that about, to the extent that he literally merged music and fashion, and that like the Snowman, like he did the intro to the Snowman. He was in Labyrinth.
Oh, the animated short?
Yeah, he does the intro and he plays like the kid as an older man, and so it's like,
I didn't know
that's
that.
him. Although the only thing that's weird about that is he's a redhead and he dyed his hair blonde in that. And the kid, anyway, that's me being nitpicky. But I ruined all the emotion of that. Okay, but then he was in like Labyrinth, was really a weird, crazy movie, and he was the biggest.
I know him
star.
from that. That's the one thing is like there are a handful of things where it's like I mean I know of David Bowie, I've heard of him, and I'm excited now because just hearing everybody talk about him, it's like I'm like cool. I get to go dig into this guy's art and music now, and I'm really excited about that. I get to binge his content now, but I knew he was in Labyrinth. I thought his character.
Yeah, it's a weird. Well, it's cool that he was one of the people who like he's in a Dreamcast game. He really tried to touch everything, and he kind of made packs and like he did Pontius Pilate in Last Temptation of Christ. Like he played like everybody and Nikola Tesla in The Prestige, and it's just kind of insane. And even he did. I mean, even the documentary about his Ziggy Stardust concert was by one of the best documentary filmmakers, D.A. Pennybecker. Like he worked with, he had such a great career. It's kind of no one will have that career. I mean, he just kind of got to be himself, and I don't know. He got to just be himself for his entire career and never looked back. And I think that's pretty awe-inspiring, you know. So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be like a week before I fully realize what happened. I think, you know. Also, it was like he was sick for 18 months, and we found out last night at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
It was kind of insane. Like, and his last album was a goodbye, and no one knew it until today.
Right.
It's insane. Which came out on Friday, I think.
Yeah, it came out like on the 8th.
The man left in style. I give him that gracefully.
But yeah, rest in peace. Rip in peace, as Pan would say.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about the Steven bomb.
Yay.
So, Jim, if you want to get your cat.
Okay.
Jim, you're not allowed to talk. The big boys are talking now.
I'm gonna. Yeah. I talked a lot during that one, so this will work out.
Balance it out here.
Okay. So, this Steven bomb, we had 5 new episodes, and it was mostly Peridot focus. At least the last 3 were.
Which is a good thing.
Yes, it is a very good thing.
Is she your best favorite character?
She might. I think she's dethroned Amethyst as my favorite character in the show.
Amethyst was your.
Hell yeah. Amethyst.
Amethyst? Amethyst? How much did you tell him? Did you see the Yukino Joe video?
No.
I don't think so.
I've got to show you. It's like, it's one of those videos where it's like, how many times Pearl says Steven in the show? Except for it's like Yukino Joe animated it, and it just has like, he's like, Steven's penis, Steven's penis, Steven's penis.
I feel like I need
it's
to
hilarious.
I see it too. I like Yukino Joe. I like this episode. I like the entire Steven bomb, but I say the episode because they are all good, but they all pale in comparison to the finale. Or, oh wait, was it the final one or was it the one before?
It was the one before last.
Yeah,
the second to last one is when she blows the Yellow Diamond out, and then the one after that is when you become aware that she's
I'll just
like
put the spoiler tag on here
trash.
just in case.
But I mean, do y'all think she'll be a main cast member now? Like she's now officially part.
Yeah, she's been Vegeta'd.
I mean, yeah.
She's been Vegeta'd. That's the way of saying it. Wow.
She's short and has big pointy hair, so yeah, she has been Vegeta. Well, here's the thing. The thing is either she's gonna become one of the main cast, or she's probably gonna like get destroyed and like die the hero sort of thing, and like her sacrifice will inspire the main cast to do something. She'd be like the sacrificial kind of catalyst. One of the two.
Well, I hope not. I like her character.
Yeah, she's awesome. But Rebecca Sugar is like, yes, they will love her, and then I will destroy her.
Though, you know what? There was actually a mistake that Cartoon Network did in previewing a future episode. Yeah. So apparently Lapis is coming back at some point, and she escapes from Jasper, so...
Which, I mean, that's a spoiler, but at the same time, like, does that surprise anybody?
Yeah.
No, but do y'all think they're going to have, like, some, like, you know, team of Crystal Gems ready to go whenever, like, now it's like we recruited Peridot, and Lapis should be a pretty easy win to join the team as well. What about Jasper? then they can turn.
I don't know.
If they can turn
I don't
Peridot
think they
around.
can.
I feel like it's possible, but Jasper's definitely been the only one characterized to have like no kind of like middle ground.
She's
Like
angry.
She's like the Nappa.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Like, Rebecca's copied Dragon Ball Z. DBZ's brilliant writing. Jesus, that mean Yellow Diamond's gonna be Frieza? just show up. Oh my God, Steven's gone super Jim. Oh my God.
No, she just fuses with Connie, or he just.
That's right. Fusion's an actual thing. You're right. So, damn. Maybe this is a bit too much like Dragon Ball Z.
You know, I was thinking because in my recap, I said I was thinking about making a video called like, is Steven Universe too influenced by anime?
Is that even possible? Is there anything? There's no such thing as too much anime. All of the anime in my cartoons. I want my Nihonjin cartoons are superior to your dirty white cartoons. So the more it's like anime, the better. Fuck you.
I like how we see Jim just like waiting.
Jim's just like, I'm so fucking bored.
We'll make this
Can he hear
faster.
us right now?
He just did the Garnet thing.
I want to talk about.
He doesn't even know.
No. I guess to wrap it up, so Jim can get back into this.
You
So
can't wrap it up. Fuck Jim. He talked forever. We're gonna let him.
if he can hear us, then why doesn't he just join? I guess.
Because he's Jim. I don't know. Peridot's the best. That's what Peridot's the best. The best.
The best.
I talk about it in my vlogs, and then I did another podcast with the Horseshoe Crew where we all fucking talked about the Steven Universe for like an hour.
Did your heart stop when you put those boxes?
Oh yeah. Actually, I'll put the spoiler tag
yeah.
off because I did want to bring this up about the Steven Bob. Jim, you can get your headphones back on now.
Which doesn't make sense if you can hear it anyway. So
Yeah.
Point.
Like, because I want Jim's opinion on this.
Jim, you're
Okay.
beautiful.
Yeah. Do you think the Steven bombs are a good thing?
I do and I don't because I didn't see the episode, so I can't say how well they came together and such. But I do wonder the problem is what people have said the problem with Netflix, which I guess is comparable in terms of how they put out a ton of episodes at once.
Yeah.
Is that it's kind of like with the Steven bombs, it's like it's there, and then a month later we're not talking about it.
Right.
Like if they released it in 5 weeks, we would be talking about 2 episodes each podcast, right?
Right.
And so people have said that is a problem, but it might be better because we live in such an oversaturated media landscape that it might be better to just hit them all at once and just have your moment of glory rather than hope that people will give a shit in 4 or 5 weeks, you know? So I have thought about that a lot, but it's also the problem is with a lot of the cartoons is I catch up to them later.
Yeah.
And I don't watch them in the chunks like the Marceline thing I was talking about in the pre-show. I just got around to watching. So it can be good if you're doing something that's really needs all that time at the same time. Like it really needs like every night in a week, I guess, like an Over the Garden Wall or something.
Right.
But if you don't, would it be better for Steven Universe? And when is the next time we're getting episodes?
Yeah.
I mean, if we're not getting episodes,
that's the worst part about these bombs is that like after they happen, we have no idea like when the next episode's coming.
Yeah.
it's like
It doesn't help you fall into a routine. I mean, when you watch something that releases weekly, you kind of it becomes part of your weekly routine.
Yeah.
It's like, all right,
'Cause, like,
Friday is
before-
when the new episode happens.
Yeah, before when Cartoon Network would do like their new episodes like every Thursday. Like at the end of the week, I'll just like, okay, I'm gonna watch Gumball, regular show, Steven Universe, and maybe some others if I want to.
yeah.
So
No, I have seen them just like my DVR numbers on some of these shows just climb up to astronomical levels because I'm just like, wait, these all came out this week? Holy crap, I didn't even realize, you know? So I think there's good and bad with it. So I guess is the answer. I'm not sure which is the better. I kind of think the routine of it works better because I don't know, one show I've just gotten accustomed to watching is like Modern Family, which I don't think is that good anymore. And if it was doing a Modern Family bomb, which I don't, which is sounds dumb, but I don't think I'd watch it because I'm so used to on Wednesdays getting home from work and watching Modern Family. And if it was just like a bunch of them, I think I'd maybe catch up, but it wouldn't. I mean, the thing is with that is you have to keep the quality good. It's like that Making a Murderer show. Like people got so addicted to it because it was a really good show, and since Steven Universe is still really good, it has that advantage. But look at Adventure Time. When Adventure Time does bombs, nobody cares. You know, it's like nobody cares. So I think that's
yeah. Well, I think the bombs, like, it really needs to. They all need to thematically tie together, because I think the first, like, I'm gonna kind of paraphrase what I said on the other podcast, but like the first Steven bomb I thought was really disjointed because it was clear just like, we have a bunch of episodes, let's put them all out in a row, and none of them had anything to do with each other. So that was just kind of like, I don't really care. Like I didn't feel like there was any benefit to that, but because like the ones after that all kind of focused on like developing some sort of thing, and all the episodes kind of built off the last one, it made more sense. It kind of felt like you were watching a film.
Yeah, I think the reason they started doing the Steven bombs is because like with the first one, that's when the fandom actually really exploded. Yeah, because that's when the season finale was in that Steven bomb. So, and that's when people were like, "Oh my god!" And that was the first big reveal. So, yeah.
That's. I mean, it helps. I think it helps some fandoms, but I think with Adventure Time specifically, I know I've been shitting on them a little much, but I do think it really hurt that show because I noticed the real shift from Adventure Time being the big Cartoon Network show to Steven Universe be the show was the bomb explosion thing.
No, in reality, it's neither of them. It's Teen Titans Go. Remember, it's your new favorite show.
By the way, I gotta say,
nice Paleo, nice one.
For a society that's so sensitive to the word bomb, it's like, well, what should we call it? A Steven bomb. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rebecca Sugar, I thought you were an SJW. That's not very. It's not respecting your audience's triggers.
Yeah, this is insult.
Trigger warning. Trigger warning.
Social justice warrior.
Oh.
Stupid Jewish widow.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Salty Django Waldo.
Okay, well Django starts with a D, so that doesn't work.
Never mind. What am I thinking?
Django
the D is silent.
No, I mean, the thing is, like you were saying how like with the Modern Family thing that doesn't make sense. But I think the good thing is like for Steven Bomb, they're 11 minutes, so it's not like it's a huge time sink.
Yeah.
To get caught up. Like, then the question I guess is like, why not just do like an hour special? Because all these episodes like the Steven Bomb's basically an hour special stretched out for a week. I mean, obviously they do it for ratings because like I watched 5 episodes instead of 1, so they get like 5, viewer things throughout the week, so the ratings look better and they get bigger numbers and they get better ad revenue and all that bullshit. I'm sure there's like financial reasons for spreading it out, but I mean, I guess I would like the bombs a lot more if they had like a weekly release, and then like the big plot centric arcs they would just do bombs for that, but then you know when stuff's coming. Which, I mean, I guess it's asking a lot. So I'm like, give me my cake and let me eat it too, you bastards. But I don't know. It's just, if we could at least get some transparency on when it's coming back, that would be better. Because now it's just like, fuck, I don't even know when this shit's going to come back. It's just like, you're just like in limbo. Because like they build up all this hype and interest in the show and everyone's talking about it. But like for people who maybe like the bomb was the first exposure they got to the show and they want to watch more, just like, when do I get to see more? Like, fucking nobody knows, Like that's like the problem with cartoons in general right now. With Gravity Falls, it does it even worse. Like we're still waiting for the last episode of the fucking show, and it's been like 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't even know. Like we had already seen the one before it.
15th.
I don't even care anymore. Yeah. Like honestly, the last episode's coming, and I just don't even give a shit.
Yeah. They spread it too thin.
They fucked it up pretty bad.
Well, Disney doesn't know what they're doing. I don't think they even like the.
I can't wait to see what he does for Fox.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Oh okay. Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Paleo. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I've already made my case on 2 podcasts now. So.
I mean, I'd really like to go back to at least like weekly episodes for shows, and then like if there's a two-parter or something, then put it on 1 week. Because I mean, other shows still do that. I mean, MLP did that. It still did it, and it was still successful. So
I think a lot of these big storytelling things they should just use the whole half-hour block for. Like, I'm assuming for syndication purposes they probably can't. But like, why wouldn't you do that? You have that, or even better, you know what worked out for Cartoon Network really well? Cartoon Fridays.
Yeah,
was fucking dope. Like, why don't we do something like that again? Like that worked really well.
Because before we had Har Thursdays for a while, like when Flapjack and Chowder were on.
Yeah.
And Wacky Wednesdays.
Titty Tuesdays. Wait.
If they played them all in a row later in the week or on Saturday.
Did you say titty?
Yes.
Titty Tuesday. Oh God, no, wrong channel. This is an HBO. I don't know. I see. I don't watch the show on television. I wait until it's online. So, I guess, like, okay. I guess we'll use an example for Gravity Falls. I don't know. I have no idea what's happening. Maybe someday I'll marathon it and catch up. But I don't care. Steven Universe, I'm a bit more invested in. So I hope it doesn't go the same way with Gravity Falls, where it's like another like 6 months until I see another episode of Steven Universe. That'd be really shitty. Like, I prefer consistency. So that's my take.
Yeah.
I think what my ideal thing would be is if they did it weekly, and instead of doing bombs, they just had like, here's an hour special where we get this big plot chunk out of the way, because that's what these are anyways, now that they've done them consistently. Like, this whole thing could have been an hour special of this bomb this week, and they could have done it on a Friday or something.
Yeah.
Or do both.
Yeah.
Just make it be like we'll play them all Monday through Thursday, then on Friday we cut them all together as one thing. Like, make 2 cuts of it, and then you can air it different ways if you want. You know? And that would be cooler for the fandom, because you might be like, there's scenes that'll work. You could do it like Hateful Eight. You could be like, there's scenes that'll work for the big movie, and there's scenes that'll work for the episodes. And I think the fandom would probably rewatch it, and then they'd have even more to talk about, you know, because they'd be watching the episodes twice. And they wouldn't want to watch the episode twice on their DVR. They'll DVR 2 different shows of Steven Universe or whichever show, you know.
I think at the end of the day, above everything else, though, like, I don't think us talking about this is going to change their mind. I'm sure the bombs are doing really well for them ratings-wise. At least do have some transparency. Like, when the last episode airs, after that, say, like, Steven Universe will return on X date. Like, figure that out beforehand.
Yeah, that should be worked out before.
Because that'll help keep your fan base, like, it'll give them a target. And I think that'll help keep conversation going and keep interest strong. Because like, if you have a countdown to a date, like, it's tangible and people can focus on that, and they're not just like, fuck, what am I doing? You know, like, how like dumb would it be if they were like, oh man, guys, we have a new Star Wars movie coming out, but then they didn't tell us until like 2 weeks before it came out when the movie was coming out. Like, so much of that hype was around counting down to that date. Like, dates are important. Like, giving that tangible.
I agree. It actually bugs me when I see a movie trailer and it just ends with coming soon. I was like, motherfucker, you've had this date for 2 years.
I know, underdogs.
That's not what I meant. Okay.
Underdogs is never coming to the States.
Let's hope the date is never.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, what happened to Underdogs?
I don't know.
It'll probably go straight to DVD.
Speaking of Underdogs, what about Nut Job 2? There's been nothing on that. Yet it's supposed to come out like this month.
That was supposed to come out the same weekend as Ride Along 2, because it came
and
out
Norm of the North.
Norm of the North is going to be amazing.
Oh, you know what the problem with Norm of the North is? They're not doing Thursday early shows. They're just doing Friday.
I saw a trailer for Norm of the North while I was watching Steven Bomb. Like, what in God's name is this?
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
It looks so good.
I mean, maybe they'll do Thursday show. They'll announce it. It'll be on Fandango on Wednesday or something.
Yeah, maybe my theater will show up like, it'll be playing on 7 here. Oh, good. I can go alone.
I legit thought it was going to be like a special on Cartoon.
Wait, Paleo, if you're seeing Norm of the North, there's no question you're in that theater alone. Come on.
Yeah.
There's no one gonna be there. Come on.
Dude, I'm watching the trailer for No One Knows right now. It looks like it's like was made back in like 2002 or
Right?
something.
That's
It's awful.
I'm hoping someone from Food Fight's involved.
Yeah, Food Fight.
That's what I'm hoping for.
The comments are so mean. Like, everybody's like shitting on this movie. I love it.
But because this thing's not playing Thursday night, I was like, I guess I'll do a review of 13 Hours since I usually have a review before. So I guess I'm seeing, because I'm not seeing Ride Along 2. There's no Ride Along in it. So.
I read a comment here. Someone says, this movie looks so bad that when I saw it in theaters, I thought it was a fake trailer that was going to tell me to turn off my cell phone.
It's great. I like that.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Fucking destroyed.
Wow.
That person's awesome.
That sums it all up right there.
It really does. It really does.
All right. Speaking of movies, let's talk about Star Wars because we haven't talked about Star Wars together yet on the podcast.
Have we not?
No.
Well, I mean, I think you guys have been.
No.
I still haven't
Because
uploaded
the
my
last
fucking
podcast,
video.
like, Saber wasn't on.
Oh
or
yeah, that's
Tom.
right.
Oh,
We all
okay.
suck.
So, man, Star Wars.
I'll put a spoiler tag on just in
It was
case.
okay.
For the two of you who haven't seen it,
Yeah, I
who
know.
frankly aren't culturally relevant, so who cares? But whatever.
Well, you're not wrong.
Actually, I read a really good interpretation of The Force Awakens. I've seen it 3 times. I actually saw it 3 times in 3 different states. New York, Baltimore, and New Orleans, which is a
No,
record.
when I was
yeah,
telling
those states
fucking
of New
Saber
Orleans and
about-
Baltimore.
About
Seeing the
what?
movie over there, that was a joke.
What?
Wait, what did you say?
I said earlier when I was telling Saber to fucking get the $1 billion by himself and go across the country, I was just joking. You're actually fucking doing it.
No, I actually did. Yeah. Well, because I knew I was going. I wanted to see it in Baltimore because it's where I have. If on my Instagram, I had that guy playing jizz music. That was from the theater I grew up. I had to see that at the theater I grew up with, but it was. I like it a lot, but I don't think I think in a year people are going to be a lot more critical of it.
I mean, they're already critical of it.
They're already
Yeah.
critical of. The thing is with Star Wars movies is, even people I know who don't like the prequels saw them in theaters 4 or 5 times. So you're living up to something. You're going through so much criticism of a Star Wars movie. You really have to make them airtight. I knew this was going to be pretty much, not plot-wise, but the reception pretty much what it was, where it culturally brings it back. It's a lot of fun, but it's better than the prequels, but to me it doesn't even touch the original trilogy, you know. But my problem with it, and I said this in my review, is that Star Wars is influenced by Akira Kurosawa and John Ford and
Right.
serials and all these things. And The Force
I really like
Awakens.
this point.
Oh, really? Oh, well, The Force
Yeah.
Awakens is influenced by Star Wars, and it's the same problem Jurassic World had. And I'm not saying either of those movies aren't bad necessarily, but they're not that deep because Star Wars. The thing we all miss about Star Wars is it's really a postmodern masterpiece, and we've missed that. And J.J. Abrams kind of, I think, isn't the smartest director in the world, and kind of shows it in that he's not showing, like, why isn't this more based on the influences that made Star Wars? Like, why isn't this going back? And I think a movie like Creed kind of does that a lot better, and uses even the problem with Han Solo, where he becomes Han Solo again because he like reverted back to his old self. Like in Creed, Rocky is how Rocky should be at 70, you know,
Right.
and Han Solo isn't how Han Solo should be. And it's kind of like there was a lot of things like that. And I don't like how each of the characters are a riff on Luke and Leia and Han and Darth Vader. I kind of wish they were. Kylo Ren's kind of the most distinct, I guess. But like General Hux is pretty much Tarkin from the original.
Yeah, Grand Moff
Like
Tarkin.
he's like, they don't even riff on that one. He's just And but like
except with a little bit more Hitler thrown in there too.
oh yeah, the Nazi stuff was too much. But the I did. Yeah, it's like they didn't even try to hide that. They're just like Nazi shit.
If they wouldn't have done the salute, I would have been like, okay.
Yeah.
But then they did a salute. It's like, oh, like they easily could have done something where they just load their guns like that or something. I don't know. That was a bit too heavy-handed. Guys, excuse me, I've got to use the bathroom. Continue.
Oh, okay. One of the things I did notice
boring as shit.
when I watched it later was when the scene where Poe flies in and saves them, and the X-wings fly in. That shot where the camera pans pans around, and you see him shooting, and there's like some structures in the way of the camera and such. Yeah. That's straight out of Lord of the Rings. Like that's a Peter Jackson. I was kind of like, that sequence in particular has a lot of like looks like almost Peter Jackson directed it in 2002. You know, it's like kind of crazy. A lot of these shots are from Lord of the Rings stuff, but it's still like I would never say it's a bad movie. I just think it we need to be not so to understand how we got Star Wars, we shouldn't just be like we need to do Star Wars. They need to look deeper, and that's how we're going to get an awesome Star Wars movie rather than this feels like two steps forward, one step back is I think what I said in the review or something, but it kind of feels like we haven't made a great Star Wars movie. We just got it back to where it should be, but I feel like there's still room to improve, I guess. You know? Yeah. But it's still awesome. It's one of the most entertaining movies I saw this year, you know.
Yeah.
But I also love how much characters in that movie love Poe. They're like, man, Poe's the best. Come on, Poe. You're so handsome.
I love how people are like finding out the movies that these actors played in, and they're like, "Hey, look, it's Kylo Ren and Poe Dameron singing with Justin Timberlake."
Oh yeah,
and inside Llewyn Davis.
Apparently, was it Adam Driver and Oscar Isaac got paid more than John Boyega and Daisy Ridley because they were more. Well, I think they had better agents. Is the deal? But I'm curious to see where it goes. But it is interesting having Star Wars movies that are very influenced by the Marvel movies in terms of it's weird. But I am also wondering what's going on with Rogue One. Why don't I have a trailer?
Yeah, there isn't any trailer yet, which we'll probably get one March maybe.
Well, what I don't get is at this point we had a Force Awakens trailer.
Yeah.
And then we're going to run into the weird thing that in May of 2017, Episode 8 comes out. So in May of this year, are we going to have two trailers of two different Star Wars movies at once?
Yeah. Or are they going to wait until...
Are you saying we're going to have a trailer bomb for Star Wars? Every day of the week, a new trailer for Star Wars.
Well, for every rest of the 5 movies that are coming out in the next, 5 years.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is in the end of 2016 to May of 2017, in 6 months we're getting 2 Star Wars movies. That's insane. But apparently the one thing that came out today is that they're trying to cast a young Han Solo, and whoever that is supposedly going to have a cameo in Rogue One. So so are they still shooting? I'm so confused about Rogue One. I really don't know what's going on with that one. It's very weird. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry. What did you guys think?
What about the movie?
Yeah.
I mean, I really liked it. I've only seen it once so far though. So
I've only seen it once as well. I thought it was okay. I think I agree with a lot of things you said about it, that it was way too much trying to be Star Wars and not trying to be it definitely felt like they went in to build a Star Wars movie as opposed to going in trying to build something from the perspective of what made Star Wars. They made Star Wars instead of looking at what made Star Wars.
Yeah.
So it's just it's A New Hope again, and my whole kind of thing was is this movie good because Abrams gets what makes Star Wars good, or is it a great Star Wars film because it's a blatant copy of the original great Star Wars film? Everything. I think that almost every level that it succeeds because A New Hope already succeeded in that way to a certain degree.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. Like, again, if the next movie is just like Empire again, then I'm just not even going to care anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought
It
the
has
same
to go in a
thing.
new direction. It has
Well,
to.
When I heard how they picked directors with Ryan Johnson doing the episode 8 and Trevorrow doing episode 9, which I don't think he's necessarily the best choice for.
I didn't know that Abrams wasn't doing all 3.
Apparently, the shooting of this movie had a lot of conflict, and he was going to be more of the George Lucas of this trilogy, like how Lucas was really hands-on and the producer of all of them, and Kathleen Kennedy, who runs
He's turning
Lucasfilm,
into a pixel.
Yeah, Jim, you're
Who,
like breaking up a little bit.
Oh, am I okay? Sorry.
The de-evolution of Jim.
But apparently the Disney and Lucasfilm people nixed that idea because of what he was doing on this movie, which is interesting. It seems like they're kind of aware of the problems we all saw with it. So it's kind of interesting that he has no involvement in any of them. He's like an executive producer. I think he'll show up to some things, but that's about it. But yeah, I am worried. I'm flickering out a lot.
Yeah.
Jim, you look like you're talking to us from a galaxy far, far away right now.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. That's weird. But yeah.
Abrams
But,
just like, you're not going to badmouth me about my goddamn movie.
He's watching.
Force choke.
I gotta make that $2 billion. I'm gonna make 3, Jim. I don't care.
Hold on, like exit the call and then re-enter real quick.
Okay, yeah, sure.
We'll see if that works.
We're not letting him come back. No, I mean, it was a good Star Wars movie. It did things right, but there was just some things that I found questionable. I don't know.
Is he coming back? All right, he's back.
Am I here? Oh, it's that.
Yes. All right. Saber, you
Um,
were here. What do you think of Star Wars? Which I think I already can have a inkling of how you felt.
What I think about Star Wars?
Yeah.
I think the easiest way to sum it up is that whenever I was sitting in the theater and it started, and I heard the, bum, ba-da-dance, I could always feel a smile creep across my face. I was like, yeah, I'm watching a new Star Wars. This is pretty cool. And it's competent. And that's good enough for me. So I realized that Disney had to do this right. Because if they would have failed, then the entire Star Wars purchase would have been for nothing. It would have been a disaster. And it would have just been awful. So they played it safe. They borrowed from the first movie quite a lot, but that's all right. It's like poetry; it rhymes, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. No, but they did what they had to do. It's obviously paying off, and I'm so see to me. When they prove themselves to me, will be in the next movie. That's when they prove themselves to me.
Yeah.
I mean, they proved themselves, yeah, okay, you made a Star Wars, good job. Now the real test is the next one. Can you not make The Empire Strikes Back? Can you make something better, or no, probably not better, but something different from that? Like, if the movie starts off on a snow planet and I see walkers, I'm going to leave the theater. I am going to leave the theater. I'm like, that's it. I'm done. Like, this. I'll sit down and watch it a couple of times, but but I won't be happy about it.
I have more hope now, Jim, that you're saying it's a different director, because that just means that like the mistakes that were made here probably won't be repeated just because it's somebody else at the helm. So
that happened for the last trilogy. For the first trilogy, Irving Kishner directed it, not George, and Irving knocked you out of the park. So.
It's kind of the Return of the Jedi is directed by the guy whose name I can never remember.
It's kind of fun. I had no idea that I only until recently that the Return of the Jedi was not directed by Lucas, but somebody else. I had no idea.
I used to think that for years. I don't know why, but it's. I have faith in it. I'm really more curious, honestly, about the spin-off films. I'm curious how those are going to work. Especially the Young Han Solo thing, because that casting shortlist came out today, but who knows what's going to happen, but it's going to be interesting. I think a lot of people said the thing with long-running franchises is there's sometimes a really good one, but there's a lot of stinkers in there, And so look at like the James Bond franchise, look at Long Running Horror, and I think we're better at franchise filmmaking, but I don't think it's perfect. And there's going to be a lot of stuff. I don't think we'll get prequel bad yet, but wait, give it 12 years, you know.
I just don't know how much I care about the in-between films. It just seems like the new trilogy seems like, yeah, this is why we bought the franchise. The ones in the middle just seem like this is blatant like cash grabbing, you know? It's just like, oh, well, we can just throw Star Wars on something and make more money, and I don't know if I care as much.
Well,
or if I even care at all.
They're trying to do like Marvel because they don't.
Right.
They want to film almost every year, and Marvel now has 2 films a year. They're trying to do at least 3 films a year, which is insane. And I think Disney wants a Star Wars movie every year, so that way.
Well, I mean, they own both.
Wait, Jim told me so. There is 2 Marvel movies a year, as of right now, and that's going to be the
this year. There's 2. I think the year Black Panther comes out, there's 3.
Jesus Christ!
Because there's going to be 1 in the first part of the year, 1 in the summer, and 1 in the winter.
Jim, I have a question for you. Question for you because you're the guy to answer this. So, and Tom, of course, you can chime in. Paleo, you be quiet.
Oh.
All right, so no, Paleo, you can chime in.
Paleo. Ouch.
So tell me.
Because I've argued with him about this.
So tell me, Jim, do you feel like if Star Wars goes the same path as Marvel is right now, that they're going to fatigue the franchise?
I don't think Marvel's fatigued it, but I think...
Told you.
Shut up.
But I think Marvel's in a dangerous place in that most people like Age of Ultron, but no one's really talking about Age of Ultron anymore. You know?
It made money, though.
It made a lot of money, but who would even put it on a top 10 list or talk about it for the best of the year, you know?
Yeah.
Like, no one's saying that, so...
Yeah, I mean, I don't think... I mean, not to interrupt you, Jim.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I don't think...
I don't think that... Go ahead.
I don't think that Marvel is... or at least for me, I'm not exhausted or think it's overdone yet. And I think probably the reason that the Marvel universe can get away with it is because the comics are so... There's so much stuff in the regular Marvel universe. They have so much material to pull from. You know, like, even now, like Doctor Strange coming out, like, that's going to be a completely different vibe than the other Marvel movies because they have so many kind of little facets of the universe they can explain. Like, this is going to be all about like magic and stuff, which like they haven't really examined in any of the other Marvel cinematic films. This is a whole new kind of niche they can deal with. And like the Marvel universe in the comics is so nuanced, and there's so many different kind of like people working in it and so many different kind of subgenres that they can kind of like explore other film genres within the Marvel universe.
So do you feel that's...
Yeah, that's kind of the way it works, was because like last year we got a political thriller and a space movie.
Right.
And like those are so different. This year I don't think they weren't as big of successes, although Ant-Man's very different from Age of Ultron. They're not different enough. And I think next year people will be singing their praise more because Civil War does not look like Doctor Strange.
Right.
So I think when Marvel works, it's when they do that.
So do you feel that's the difference between like Marvel and Star Wars compared to
Yes.
something like Call of Duty or a Frozen, where because it's such a small little circle of material, like
that's kind of what I'm worried about with Star Wars, because like Star Wars is
Star Wars. It's a huge universe. Though.
Well, that's what they want to do
Star Wars.
With the spin-offs is with Rogue One, they want to make it more of a war movie, and they want to try to do what Marvel does is they take
Make like a
different
genre film.
Yeah, and I think that's Marvel's strength, but like DC, even, it doesn't seem like they're necessarily doing that. I think that's Marvel's genius, is that they can mix all these things. And,
can I borrow this stuff for my video, by the way? I'm making notes. Go on, Jim.
But
Here's my video.
Here's my counterpoint to that is that I don't know how well the audience is going to kind of react to that, because when you have Marvel, you already have all these established franchises. Like when Doctor Strange comes out, you're going to have people who read Doctor Strange like, yeah, I want to go see Doctor Strange. Like, I love Doctor Strange. He's a cool character, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody
does
likes
help that
Star Wars because they like the feel of the Star Wars movies.
Yeah, I've
You're
kind of wondered.
changing that. And that's the difference. You know, you don't have, Like, you're gonna have a bunch of people going in to see Rogue One, expecting another Star Wars movie, and if it's gonna be a Star Wars spin on a war film, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this doesn't fucking feel like Star Wars." And so, like, how is that gonna be taken? You have this entire like huge 30-year history built upon like this essentially this one trilogy of films, kind of another one if you really want to, but like there's an identity there, and even the expanded universe is all about kind of expanding on that identity. It doesn't take it in too many other directions because it's segmented around this one thing. And then Marvel, on the other hand, has this vast, massive library of different characters and stuff to choose from with different feels that are completely separate. It's only recently they kind of really started to kind of put everything together and really throw that in the public face. So I think it's two different things. I don't know how well it's going to work.
No, I was wondering that when I saw one of the times I saw Star Wars, is like, are these people going to be as down for Rogue One? And is Disney prepared for that? And what are they expecting from Rogue One and young Han Solo and supposedly a Boba Fett, but no one's really sure. Those movies, I think the public will have a harder time with that, and I wouldn't be surprised if it makes like less than like maybe like a quarter of what Force Awakens makes, but maybe they're prepared for that.
Maybe they are.
Because that's like part of the thing with the way Disney works with Marvel is that they kind of let them do stuff like Ant-Man, and Ant-Man, although it was a success, wasn't a huge success, but it still builds the brand and let's have when Ant-Man shows up in Civil War, which supposedly he is going to, let you already be happy about that and then see Ant-Man 2 if you like the first Ant-Man, and the continued success of different facets of the brand I think they're okay with. But I think that's the one thing Marvel has on all these other franchises is Marvel's so different, and they understand to make a Thor movie different from Captain America. And Star Wars, a lot of it is the John Williams score and the scroll and all that stuff. And if it just goes Star Wars, a Star Wars story, Rogue One, and there's no scroll, people are gonna immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, immediately I thought I thought about this before, and I thought, people immediately I'm gonna have to hear people bitch about this isn't a Star Wars movie. Why was the music different? Where were the Jedis? Why wasn't this there? And you're just like, dude, what the hell? Like, are you this limited? But I think like people aren't ready, and it's the reason anthology films usually don't work out is because people, when they want to see a sequel, they want to see the same kind of movie,
right?
And it's hard to. But Star Wars is big enough for that to happen.
Saber's getting all of his research right here.
Because when you think about it,
yes. I want a co-writing credit on this shit.
To build off Jim's point.
One second, Jim. That's it.
Yeah,
Tom, Jim.
But like to build off Jim's point here is like when you play like Star Wars games, right? Because there's a ton of video games.
Yeah.
They
made Star Wars video games?
I know, dude. It's fucking crazy. Dude, it's insane.
They haven't been doing
some game.
But even when you play something like Rogue Squadron or anything, they always have the theme music. They always have the opening crawl, no matter what genre it is, because they know that those are iconic. You couldn't have like, if it's going to be like a war movie, you couldn't have it just be like a cold open in the middle of a battlefield or something and have like a really dramatic like kind of opening. You couldn't do that. Like, or if you do, it's going to throw people for a loop.
It'd be like the opening to Save It Private Ryan.
Yeah, like you couldn't do something like that with blaster rifles. It would have to be people would be like, what the fuck is this shit?
That's true. I mean, who knows even what they're doing with the anthology things, and
right.
But I will say, like, the films that have tried to break from their franchises there are horror movie examples of that, and one is Halloween 3, and I believe Friday the 13th 5. And those movies suck. And I think when you look, and nobody likes them. I mean, people just do not like them. They have their fans, but their fans are stupid. But they're just like, they're not. They're not. If you've seen them, Halloween 3 is okay, right? It has its moments, but the thing is like people didn't want to see a Halloween movie without Michael Myers, and so you get Halloween 4 and a really crappy franchise beyond 4 and beyond, whereas 1 and 2 were cool, or mostly 1. But the thing is like it's hard to break from that, and we're in a franchise filmmaking keeps changing and getting better, But that is something that like I have wondered about this. And it is kind of like, where is this going? And I don't have a lot of faith in this movie from the guy who did Godzilla.
Yes,
Like if
thank
it
you
was
for bringing that up because I
well,
was about to like unload on him for that.
the thing about it
Again.
is if they got the guy who's doing Suicide Squad, David Ayers, if he was doing Rogue One, I would be like, Rogue One is going to be awesome. I'm so excited. But Gareth Evans should be doing a sequel to Godzilla. He should not be doing.
No, he
he's just
shouldn't.
like, well,
Godzilla fucking sucks.
okay.
He should
I
be
agree
doing
with you.
nothing.
Actually, I want to say I tried to watch Godzilla again recently with my father-in-law, and we were both fell asleep. It was just like not. I was like, this
This
every.
is what Rogue One's
every
gonna be. It's like, man, I wish I could just see the fucking X-wing. God damn it!
yeah. But the guy who's doing Suicide Squad, he's more of in that mode, and he's like a weird director choice. And it does feel like with the Star Wars movies, other than Rian Johnson and Lord Miller, they picked people who were hot and they didn't pick people who were right. And that's like the reverse of Marvel, which Marvel's like they pick the right director. And even if at the time you're like, why the fuck did they pick that guy? You know, when it comes out, you're like, holy shit, that was genius. And I'm not getting that. Like Abrams was such an easy pick. It was kind of lame. It was like a easy corporate pick.
Yeah.
And Gareth Evans, it just felt like they picked him right when Godzilla was huge. And that was like, I don't understand why they picked him. They also signed Josh Trank and to do to do a spin-off film, and obviously that's not happening now because they got Lord Miller. So I kind of want Feige almost, if he does leave Marvel, I want him to take over Star Wars because he's such a good producer in that he knows how to do franchises, because Marvel wouldn't be what it is without that guy, and he's smart enough to go like to pick the characters he picked, and to have an Iron Man movie be different from a Thor movie, to be different from a Captain America movie.
Well,
And
here's like the silver lining, I guess, and something like, let's say Rogue One is bad, and let's say the next one is fucking bad. Like this franchising thing for Star Wars like starts to be really shitty.
And my video will get millions of views, and you'd be like, Saber was right. And I'm like, I don't know anything about this.
I want
Tom or
20%
Jim.
of your
Who are
ad
they?
revenue on this video. No, if that happens, like the kind of, I guess maybe the good thing is that like Disney owns Marvel and Star Wars, so they can be like, hey, Marvel guys, like
Get in
go
here.
fucking do some
Yeah.
consulting over with the Star Wars dudes and fucking bail them out of this nosedive.
that's
know?
been the rumor, is that apparently the script went around to both Pixar and Marvel,
Yeah.
and they were asked to
Pixar.
to
What if Star Wars had feelings?
but supposedly not, Pixar's not as involved in the day-to-day Disney stuff because of John Carter, which is kind of a mistake, I think. But supposedly they just went around and asked people's opinions on the script, and like they showed them cuts of the movie and stuff. I don't have any confirmation rather than rumors, but you know, I still think Disney's one of those studios that knows they haven't really made a real stinker in a long time, like since John Carter, you know. And it's like they have bought up everybody who can make their movies good at this point. So I don't think they would release something too bad. I mean, from what I think, in about 10 years we'll get a really good book on the making of Force Awakenings, and it seems like there was a lot changed last minute. What's her name from the bar that Lupita Nyong'o voiced? She was supposed to be more in it.
What,
They even shot stuff with her. Maz Kasam.
Mises? I forgot
Some-
the name of the character.
Someone in the comments, you were like, "How could you not? It's Maz Karabas." Or, but I think there was so much changing with that movie, and there's so many times where things just change. And supposedly there's even rumors that if you look at, they never mentioned that Kylo Ren. Do we sell the spoilers up? Anyway, I already established it doesn't matter. Well, that Kylo Ren's Leia and Han's kid. They mentioned that.
I just put the spoilers up just in case.
Oh, sorry. They mentioned that almost in ADR, and a lot of people have said that it was supposed to just be a reveal in the big scene, which we all know.
Yeah.
Then, and it wasn't, and they were just going to refer to the son, but not reveal as
I kind
much.
of wish they did that. It would have been cool if he was like, Ben, come on home. And it's like, oh, that would have been cool. Instead of being like, I don't know. I feel like that was kind of like, oh, well, like that could have been
Would have been much more dramatic.
a greater reveal. Man,
I mean, you would have figured it out by then anyways, but it's still like, I don't know, it's still nice to have that like kind of revelation in the text. It's like, yeah,
it would have
feels nice.
I mean, I like I don't know. I like Kylo Ren's character. I think that's a great.
Me too.
And if you argue with me, I'll throw a tissy fit. Just like
I agree. I love how he's so unstable. Like you see how somebody said he's what Anakin should have been in the prequels.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I agree.
And you see how he's so angry. You see how he's a fucking mess. That's what he is. He's a mess.
It's like what happens if you give a teenager a lightsaber and force powers, which is exactly what Anakin should have been.
Teenager bit.
I read a really good piece on this, and it was basically saying that one of the problems with Star Wars is this feeling of privilege, and how Kylo Ren comes from a place of privilege where he's Darth Vader's grandson. He was trained by Luke. He has incredible force powers. And then Rey comes from a place of non-privilege where she isn't trained, has amazing force powers, can defeat him, and that's why he hates her so much, is because he's supposed to be everything, and she just comes out of nowhere, and she represents not being privileged as much, which I thought was an interesting interpretation.
The word privilege is my trigger.
But I think that is an interesting take on it. But then
I don't know. I mean, I didn't like Rey's character that much being so fucking perfect. Not even perfect, but just like the fact that she was able to do all the things she did in that movie kind of felt.
But dude, so did Luke though. I mean, Luke
though. Luke
sucked
the first movie.
Luke could do a lot of that.
I'm talking about in Empire. Before he met Yoda, he did a lightsaber grab. He was doing a bunch of things that were pretty quick on the draw. It's like, wow, okay, because that's a Skywalker. That's a Skywalker family, maybe. Rey is Kylo Ren's sister.
Dude, but here's the whole thing. That's like saying that like Luke fucking beat Vader in Empire. Like he didn't. The only reason Luke didn't get fucking killed instantly is because Vader's like, tra-la-la, my son with his first lightsaber fight. This is adorable. You know, like that's
Luke. Look at the camera.
Yeah,
Luke's
he's got his Google Glass in his helmet, just recording the whole thing. You know, but like that's I don't know, dude. It's pushing it for me, and that's. I mean, it's not like a huge deal because like because like the fanboy in me is like, haha, open the door, like that was cool. But at the same time, the critic was like, that's not.
No, that scene was a bit, but she, I do think a lot of what she's criticized for are things that Luke did, but I'm not going to do the Max Landis because Max Landis started the whole Mary Sue argument, and I don't know if
Max Landis.
What?
Everybody worships that guy.
Sorry, I don't like Max Landis.
You know what the problem with the thing with Max Landis is he writes a lot of scripts for a lot of movies that kind of suck for someone with a lot of opinions on screenwriting.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting. He's written like one good movie, and the two movies he came out with this year nobody likes. So I mean, as big classics as Victor Frankenstein and American Ultra are, you know, I just don't think he maybe should keep his mouth shut, I think. I mean, no offense to him. Oh, my video's turned off.
Oh, no.
How'd that
turned
happen?
into a cartoon.
Well, like, okay, so, I mean, because I know Jack's played a big fan of Max, and Max Landis was in a recent Red Letter Media Best the Worst, and I thought Max was hilarious.
I hate his stupid haircut.
And, well, he's just
That's funny, too. Like, why was he... Didn't Red Letter Media, like, totally, like, lambaste the
fuck
out of him in a video?
They did.
That happened once again where on Best the Worst they made fun of some other director who eventually came on the show and laughed with them, which is like good on the director. But
man, that must be nice. You're so famous you can insult somebody and then they come on the show and give you a boost.
He's
I can't stand Patrick Stewart,
but I just think he does kind of feel like a little odd for him to be the one to. I take Tarantino's criticisms a bit more seriously, you know.
Well, okay, that being said though, in his defense, in Landis's defense, we're all sitting here fucking criticizing this movie and we can't write a movie for shit. So
Yeah, but the difference is we're not Hollywood screenwriters making movies and constantly criticizing people and then putting out crap screenplays.
Yeah, we're not claiming to be like
I think
great
that's his,
screenwriter.
I don't see
if he
how.
was just a critic, it would be one thing, but I think that he's mixing
I
the
just
two.
don't think that they're mutually exclusive. I don't think that like being a screenwriter prevents you from being an armchair critic, and like
No,
that
he
automatically devaluing what you're saying.
it just devalues it a bit because you're just like, because sometimes I think he does rush to things and he does sound, I think how snotty he sounds on Twitter.
Conceited.
Oh, he definitely
Yeah.
has an attitude
Yeah.
problem. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
I'm just,
I think that no, I mean, it's not that he shouldn't have an opinion. I'm sure lots of screenwriters and directors definitely do. They just kind of shut up about it, you know. I just think it's that he's so public about it is a little like, dude, what's up with you, you know? So I guess that's more of my thing is like, why are you doing this for someone whose stuff I don't even think is that great? You know, like Chronicle, I was with him, but everything else I don't
I don't
feel
know. Maybe
strong.
it's just because maybe it feels like it's more public than it is, just because people know about him. Because at the same time, like we put our shit out there on the same platforms. The only difference is that more people know about him, they know about us, and that kind of amplifies what he's saying in comparison to somebody else.
Well, to bring up privilege again, he's actually the son of John Landis, so he's probably more privileged and we're less privileged than Max Landis.
So he's Kylo Ren.
And we're all Rey.
Oh shit.
But doesn't this kind of like defeat the purpose of like, I guess Anakin though, whereas like he was to bring balance to the. Okay, first off, that entire prophecy is fucked up because the Jedi don't know basic math. You're talking about the man who's going to bring balance to the Force. Yeah, we've got about.
I never said for how long.
470. We've got 478 Jedi, and there's about 2 Sith out there. Maybe we should try to prevent the prophecy, guys, because basic math tells me that if he does bring balance to the Force, it might be 2 and 2. But because he did bring balance to the Force, but then Kylo Ren comes back as a Sith, and it's like, and then who is this Snooki guy? So I don't know.
That's all I thought the name was too.
Snooki. No, well, there is someone brought up a really good point about Snook. Should we do questions soon? It's getting
Yeah, we
late.
probably
Anyway,
should because
Yeah,
let me
he's
just
been going on for a while.
let me just
Wow.
let me just say this one thing and then we can move on. But
All right, is it a spoiler? I've been putting the spoiler tag like off and on.
Well,
Just
maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But right now we don't know. I'll say that. But when Snoke is on screen, apparently the score of John Williams' score, the piece of music that plays, is the piece of music that played when Emperor Palpatine is talking about his master Darth Plagueis in the prequels, and to play the same music when Snoke is on screen. I honestly do. I think it's more than internet chatter that you can read into that he could be Darth Plagueis, because why have that music there? That's because
John Williams is lazy.
Well, no, because Star
I'm
Wars
tired
has
of this sci-fi
certain themes.
stuff.
He has certain themes for certain characters, and it's all very on purpose. And it just seems weird that he'd use that. Maybe it is just he was lazy, sure, but
No.
it seems against Star Wars.
I wanna
It feels
believe.
like that's cute.
I'm
not saying it is or isn't. I'm just saying the evidence is there. You know, take it as it is. And,
The Plagueis should be dead. I mean, first off, it's been a while. Next,
well, he did keep himself alive for all that time. So maybe
Didn't he use the dark side to like extend his life or some shit?
Well, that's the thing.
no,
is
that was Canadian healthcare.
What?
Jeez, I gotta get to Canada.
As most Sith, he's a Canadian. All right,
question.
we'll move the Q&A.
All right, yeah,
I think we've
let's
blah,
go
blah,
take
blah enough about Star Wars.
yeah, let's go take a break. And for those of you who want to ask questions, you can ask us on Twitter, and our Twitter handles are below there. And you can ask us on Twitter. So be right back, and then we'll answer questions.
I'm gonna get drink.
Yeah, I need to get drink and pee. Or pee and then get... Anyway.
This is a good piss.
Hey.
Hello.
Yeah, we went deep into that Star Wars. I'm sure Paleo had to cut 3 topics that we talked about.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Is it
A
okay?
couple of people asked what cat that was. That was my cat Buster. if anyone's wondering.
Buster Blade.
Buster Kitten. Who's still in the room. He's hanging out. And if you usually hear a cat meowing, that's him as well. He's the vocal one. But yeah. But San Diego, what convention was it? Was it a BronyCon or was it a?
It was called Pacific Pony Con, so it was a Brony convention.
Okay. Well, no, I wanted. See, I did this. I don't know if you saw this video of my New Orleans trip.
I saw the
last one to come back.
And I honestly, when after I did it, I was like, man, I need to do a convention like this. Would be cool.
You'd have fun. There's a lot of us. Well, besides meeting all of us, but there's a bunch of friends where it's like, I want Jim to meet Race Best, and I want Jim to meet this guy and this guy.
Oh, the what's it, Racer? People keep saying I should meet that guy.
Yeah, you'd like Race. He's a cool dude. He's a very, very good friend of ours.
He loves every movie.
He loves every movie?
I don't think there's a movie he hates.
Food Fighter?
Wait till he sees Ride Along 2.
Jim, if we ever do all hang out, we clearly all have to.
I mean, Race isn't very critical.
No, what are you talking about?
Wow.
Like,
Tom
No, really, he isn't though.
Give me an example.
Cars 2?
That's different. He's biased.
He likes cars.
He loves
In
NASCAR.
general, not the franchise.
He likes pretty much any like Disney movie.
That's just a rare quality in a human being.
Jim does not look very pleased right now.
Oh, why?
You were just like,
Why?
I thought you were just like, you see, like, he likes cars too, and then you were just like, I was like, Jim's not taking too kindly to that statement.
All right, Q&A. Let's do this thing.
I didn't see Cars 2. Anyway, yeah.
Good.
All right. Well, let me look at my phone.
Who wants to go first?
Not me.
A couple people asked this. Alex Greer, whose name I'm probably mispronouncing, and Star the Butterfly also asked this. They're similar. It says, what do you guys think of Alex Hirsch making a show for Fox?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I actually had it on the list of topics, but we kind of ran out of time.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Here we go. It's fine.
But yeah, we got a question for it anyway.
We totally Kylo ran those topics.
Well, I'm gonna name this podcast like "Stop Talking About Star Wars." I'm gonna name it that.
Stop Wars.
No, I'm gonna name it "Too Many Star Wars," and it'll show up next to Saber's video.
Well, there's my video too.
Which I'm getting a co-writing credit in.
I actually will. I will do that.
Cool.
You'll be the executive producer.
I can put it in my collabs playlist.
Put it in your resume.
Yeah. I'll put it
anyway,
on
so
Tom's
getting back to Alex Hirsch's new show.
Sorry.
I think it's kind of interesting to see him do a show that'll probably be aimed for a more adult audience, because I don't think Fox really does
That's a good point.
kid shows. They don't have a kids block, do they?
No, not anymore. They haven't in a while.
No, Fox Kids is dead. So, it'll be funny to see an Alex Hirsch show air before or after Family Guy, and then inevitably see Family Guy make a joke at the expense of that show, because that's just who Seth MacFarlane is, and he'd be a total dick about it. And then I want Alex Hirsch to totally respond in his show so classy, but 10 million times better, and just fucking destroy Seth MacFarlane, like, super subtly, to the point where he's too dumb to even realize it happened, and then everyone just faps to it on the internet because it'll be so glorious. That's what I want.
You know, speaking of Seth MacFarlane, somebody asked me if I've seen the show Border Town, which just aired.
The fuck is that?
An adult animated sitcom created by Family Guy writer Mark Henteman and executive produced by Seth MacFarlane. It follows two families living in a southwest desert town of the United States Mexico border.
Wow, that sounds like the worst thing ever that I don't give two fucks about at all.
It did. I think it debuted really poorly. I don't think it's sticking around.
Yeah, it like I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes score on it. It was like 40% or something like that.
I am curious to see if this show happens, because the way TV shows aren't like, I mean, it wasn't like they said he has a show, here's the idea, and it got picked up. It's like he's working on a show for Fox. He's doing in-betweens for Family Guy. Yeah, most TV creators pitch multiple shows for multiple networks. That doesn't mean that much. Like Dan Harmon pitches stuff all the time.
That's true. I just find it weird that he tweet about it. Like it seems like
That is
there's something more solid.
Well, because the thing is, when you pitch to Fox, it's a big deal.
I guess so.
Because Fox, you're an animated show in prime time, and that's still a big deal. And I think the hype of it got to him. Maybe I mean,
I'm
who
honestly
knows?
surprised that Disney let him go. Like he fucking made something ridiculously good, and they're just like, "Give him back." Like they're Disney, they eat everything. They ate Star Wars, but Alex Hirsch got away.
I was surprised we didn't
He's
hear
too
about.
expensive.
Well, maybe he's doing more than one show. We don't know.
No, he'll end up making a movie and then get kicked off it like Lauren Faust.
The curse of Lauren. You got another question?
Yeah. What else we got?
To everyone, what is your best advice for writing and starting a career in it?
Drinking.
I would say this is gonna sound like it's bad, me being stupid, but just do it. If you just start writing and putting stuff out and understanding how to deal with an audience, that's like the best thing to do.
Yeah.
It's like seriously write it. Select a date for yourself that you think you could reach, like with whether it's whatever. I don't know what this person's writing.
It says not for novels though, so something that's not novels. So I'm guessing
Articles or like reviews.
yeah.
Or...
If you're doing something well with reviews, I would say the first year you're doing reviews, your reviews are going to be terrible. So just get those out of the way.
Yeah.
just get those done with. But like, I would say just start doing it, because that has helped so much. Because there's so many people who say they're going to do it and just stick around. But if you really just do it and commit to a schedule once you start, you will make so many more strides than writing every storytelling book in the world or review in the world and stuff like that. So
I think something really important is something that I do all the time, and not to do it is like just focus on you and don't like compare yourself to everybody else, because I do that all the time. It's my cardinal sin, and it makes my life 10,000 times more miserable. Like you should only be competing with yourself and making sure you're getting better, because that's all that really matters. And that's all you can control.
Yeah.
Like I get so butthurt all the time about like stupid social network numbers and the fact that I'm not like making as much money as I want to and all this shit. Whereas like all that's dependent upon the audience, and I have no control over that. Whereas I can focus on like doubling down and making my shit better. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. Because I can not eat as long as I feel good about my work. So yeah.
Here's a question from Enigma Royal Prince. What reboots of shows that you saw before do you like, and which ones do you hate? So reboots of shows that you like and ones that you hate.
In Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, Powerpuff Girls is getting the reboot, which I didn't really like the special that much.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge
Things
Dance
we've
Dance
already
fan.
seen, things that are coming.
I think things we've already seen, right? It's asking what
Yeah.
we liked and what we didn't like.
Lion Guard.
Lion Guard was
yeah.
fucking awful.
What reboot I liked was the Felix the Cat 80s cartoon.
Oh yeah.
That was theoretically a reboot. I liked the Mickey Mouse shorts. That's a reboot, pretty much.
Yeah, those are good.
I already hate Fuller House, so that's something. I don't know. I can't think of. The Scooby-Doo Mysteries Incorporated. I love that show. That's a great show.
I haven't watched this in like literally like over a decade, but I remember really liking it as a kid, so I guess that's all that really matters. I really liked Extreme Ghostbusters when that came out.
Oh yeah, that was good.
I thought that was a great follow-up to Real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I totally missed that show.
It was by the same animation studio that did Men in Black the series and Godzilla the series.
Oh, Men in Black was good. I like Men in Black.
Agreed.
So that was like, I think they did that show, predated both of them. So I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that show back in the day. I bought like all the action figures and shit.
Yeah, I remember that show was like really creepy too.
It was, because
Yeah.
that art style is already unnerving. Like even just like a normal human looks like a fucking demon in their art style. So like
Yeah.
when they like actual demons, you're like, oh my god, I'm never sleeping again. So that was a good choice.
All right. From Alec Greer, this is directed at Jim. Jim, have you seen The Lion Guard?
No, I haven't.
Do it.
Yeah, do a review on it.
Please.
I don't know about. I don't know about that.
We all suffer through it. It's your turn.
I don't want to suffer. I review movies, man. So like, whatever.
It is a movie. The first thing is a movie.
Yeah,
How
well,
long
it's a
is it?
special, but like it's 40 minutes.
Well, it doesn't sound special enough for me to review. So
It's special, all right. It's special needs.
I don't know if I'm gonna probably stay away from that one. So
Thought we were friends, Jim.
sorry.
Friends who stay together, suffer through shit together.
Suffer through the Lion Guard.
Yeah.
All right, the pretty swell guy asks, or to me, like, thanks for getting me into the police. But what is your favorite police song?
You got him arrested?
What? Well, okay, no, but my favorite police song is "Message in a Bottle."
Would it be funny if he got arrested for playing the police too loud? I bet you that's happened. No, the police are awesome. I mean, Roxanne,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Um,
Ozzy all asked all of us, I don't know if all of us watched this, thoughts on Golden Globes. They were pretty
I didn't
predictable.
watch it.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I watched it too. Very predictable. Though
it was hard to tweet during because it was like, I don't really have any material because I'm bored and drunk.
yeah. The only thing that I found interesting is like they were not holding back with wrapping up like the speeches.
Yeah.
They were like, wrap it up, and then all of the awardees or whatever. What do you call them? Winners. Oh yeah, the award winners. Awardees. All of the winners, they were like incredibly rude about it. They were like, "No, fuck you, I'm going on." But then when Leonardo DiCaprio won his, like he was like very respectful and like he just ignored the music.
Well, the reason for that, and I read this from an awards blogger and I agree with it, is that so the ballot's already in. Like everyone's voted for the Oscars. So who wins this doesn't help with the nominations, but the people who vote for the Oscars like a winner, and if you gave a good speech, it's going to help you win the Oscar. So DiCaprio's was so like a politician. Like he's like, this has to be the greatest speech I've ever given. And it kind of was. But same with Brie Larson did a great acceptance speech as well. And those are kind of the two of the front runners. Leo more than her. But that was kind of what, on the movie side, what the Golden Globes are really for. But it was kind of like Inside Out won animated feature, but I complain on this every year, but they don't have an animated show category, even though they do TV, which I don't like. And then like, Morricone actually won the first, this is shocking, the first time Morricone's ever won award in America for his film scores was last night.
Wow.
Which is why Tarantino said that Morricone's in kind of a ghetto in terms of scores, which people took out of context. But and it was probably bad wording on Tarantino's part. But it was the first time apparently that's ever happened. So it was kind of big for that. And Denzel won a Lifetime Achievement Award, and The Martian won Best Comedy. So it's
really weird. Like, why do they have? Is there a reason the Golden Globes don't have a Best Picture category and they just have it like Best Drama and then Best Musical / Comedy?
I don't know why they do it that way. And Martian was clearly put in a different category so it could win awards. But it's a thing they're calling this year. The term, it's probably existed before, but it's a big term this year. Is called category fraud, where you place someone in a category because you think they'll win, rather than the category they should probably actually be in. And I think that one, like Trainwreck, it was probably the only movie that should have been in there. It's like really weird. So I don't know. I don't think it was, and it was Ricky Gervais wasn't that funny. And I kind of actually didn't like that Mel Gibson came out to do the clips for Fury Road. And it was more about Ricky Gervais making fun of him than it was, Mel Gibson's honoring this franchise that he was a part of. Which, I don't know. But it was pretty boring. And I'm glad I had people over and drank alcohol rather than pay paid attention to it because I don't think it was something I should have paid attention to. Although the Jim Carrey speech was hilarious. Check that out.
Yeah.
The only part of the Golden Globes I saw was the clip on Facebook that Jack's Play posted of
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, Lady Gaga
Yeah.
when she got the award, and fucking Leo DiCaprio just like fucking like he's just like laughing, and then like he's quickly
Yeah,
saves
he's like-
face. I'm just like, that performance deserved an Oscar right there. Holy shit.
Well, it's funny
like-
'cause she like brushed her crotch up against his like.
Yeah,
arm.
he just
He's
like,
like,
his, it's fucking hilarious. So, my experience of Golden Globes was fucking hilarious. So all 3 seconds of it.
Yeah, that's about as much as you should take, to be honest. But that was about it. You know, for everyone who cares, Inside Out won.
Yeah.
And Morricone won. That's all you should care about.
All right. Master Ichigo asks, what are your thoughts on Kim Possible and Recess being revived in 2017?
That's
It's
news
just like
to
a-
me.
A
Yeah,
I didn't
It's
know
like
about
Hey
that.
Arnold's-
Wait,
Nostalgia! Nostalgia!
I have a question. Is Recess? Do they mean Recess has been outlawed in schools and they're bringing it back in 2017? Or are we talking about the cartoon?
The cartoon.
No.
Oh, okay. Because I'm not in elementary school. I don't know if Recess is still around. Oh man, I bet kids, because they have iPhones, they can watch Recess during recess.
Oh my
Totally
god.
Feels like a waste of recess.
Brian Corbett asks, question for everyone, which Marvel movie you most excited about, Deadpool or Civil War?
Civil War.
Yeah, I think Civil War, though I do think I'll really enjoy Deadpool. It comes out next month.
I think Deadpool's gonna be interesting because I've noticed when I talk to comic fans, they kind of don't want to say this because oftentimes I'm like, "What are your feelings on Deadpool?" And they always kind of just give me this look, and I'm like, "What? What is it?" And they go, "Look, here's the thing. Deadpool is a character for people who don't read comics." And I'm like, "Whoa, that's pretty." But I've heard from multiple people who like buy comics every week that they all have this similar opinion that he's the character that people like who don't read comics. And I was like, that's interesting. That it seems to be. I have wondered with Marvel being so continuity heavy, when you have the people aren't as into Age of Ultron, which is super continuity, but they like these kind of funnier, sillier characters that the collectors aren't into because it's easier to get into them, maybe. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was
But
going.
Deadpool isn't gonna be part of the cinematic.
No, that's
Yeah.
That's from
he's
Fox.
part of the X-Men universe.
Yeah.
So fucking stupid.
Which we're getting another X-Men Apocalypse, which does look dumb. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that to kind of the X-Men Apocalypse trailer, they have like that last like shot where it like opens up and then it's like young Xavier like bald in the chair, and that's supposed to be dramatic. I just thought it was funny. It's like, hey, look at this
Oh, yeah,
guy.
it doesn't work.
I just
do
laughed
No,
my ass
you're
off.
right. You're right. You're right.
I
It's just
think-
like, ooh.
I do think Deadpool's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally agree. I think my only thing is like I've read Deadpool a lot like back in high school, like before anyone really cared. Like he became like a household name, quote unquote.
Mhm.
Like a lot of people know Deadpool now, but like before, like I guess it wasn't as well known. Either that or just didn't hang out in the right circles. I don't know. I don't remember it being as extremely bathroom humor heavy as the trailers have been for this movie, which I feel like they might be like going a little too far on that, which I'm kind of worried about. But it'll probably still be good. It'll be better than the last time Deadpool was in a movie. And that's really all I can ask
I
for.
mean, it is kind of the only way people will see a movie with Ryan Reynolds in it. So
Yeah.
That being said, though, I think I'm probably more interested in Civil War just because it's a Marvel
That's funny.
Cinematic Universe movie, and I'm kind of already invested in that ecosystem continuity, quote unquote.
I've noticed
Whereas-
that trailer is interesting because the people who aren't into the MCU, they're like, "What the fuck is this? Who's this? Who's Bucky? I don't even know."
Yeah.
And then
Right, yeah.
everyone who's into it goes, "That's such a great trailer. I'm emotionally invested. I'm in it. I'm so there." And it seems to be a real dividing line between people.
It's comics
Yeah.
all over again. Like
Yeah.
they've done
Yeah.
it. We've officially gotten to comics level of continuity conundrums.
Yeah, this is the first one of like a Marvel movies that's going to be like it's going to divide the moviegoers to the
Yeah, because
people
like
who
if you haven't seen it, they're gonna be like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is going on?
Well, you have
What
to
kind
have
of a
seen,
name is Bucky?
you have to have seen Winter Soldier,
yeah
which I think is the problem. Is I've learned how many people haven't seen Winter Soldier is kind of interesting. And Winter Soldier is awesome. You haven't seen Winter Soldier, Saber? You should. It's really good.
I haven't seen any of the Captain Americas.
Oh, you
Winter
should see
Soldier
him.
is probably one of the best MCU films.
Captain America is one of the stupidest heroes of all time. Let me tell you why. Okay.
Okay, well, you're completely wrong before we even start.
He can't fly.
Oh, you know what? I never thought of that.
Whoa, wait, Saber, is this like what you think about yourself also? Because you
No.
can't fly?
Jim, humans can't fly.
In an aeroplane.
But no, but you would like at least Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
you know?
it's really fun.
I like the
What's
first
next?
one, but I know people don't. Next,
Yeah.
sorry,
Oh, no,
Saber.
what's next?
Sorry,
The spring sergeant, the autumn pilot.
Sorry,
the
Saber.
summer
Sorry, I said he
sausage.
couldn't fly.
How
All right.
dare you?
This is an interesting question from a Toxic Celestial.
Wow,
Best
that's a Twitter name.
best auteur director of this generation.
This is totally you guys. I'm gonna use the bathroom.
I don't even know.
I can't even spell auteur.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know.
People in your films.
The thing is like all the directors I'm thinking of come from the 90s. So I mean, I guess they're this generation.
Well, I mean, like Spielberg, but I don't think that's this generation. Probably like Tarantino and Paul Thomas Anderson and
Coen brothers.
yeah, that's true. Charlie Kaufman. A lot of the Pixar guys, Brad Bird, Lasseter. Not Lasseter. I take that back.
Yeah.
Said best, not bests. Pick one.
Oh, I have to pick one. I can't pick one. I don't think there is a I don't think the 70s and the 80s had like a Spielberg and he loomed large. I don't think we're going to have another director like that until close to when Spielberg dies in 2024. Next question.
You got the date set.
I know it. He told me once.
No,
He's like,
I would
Jim
probably
made that pact with the devil and it's serving him well.
yeah I'd probably say the Coen brothers. I think.
yeah, they're definitely up there.
Yeah. Let's see. From Alec Greer, Jim, pick one to watch: Road Trip or The Judge.
Why?
Did you see the other Alvin and the Chipmunks movies?
No, I've only seen Road
So
Trip.
you only seen okay.
I've only seen Road Trip. So if there's continuity I missed, if someone could clue me in, that'd be great. But I've only seen Road Trip. Probably Road Trip because Road Trip is at least has the John Waters cameo, and I could.
Which
but the
doesn't make any sense.
No, did you see Road Trip?
No, I've seen reviews on it though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It kind of doesn't, but it's just the part where Alvin says he's seen pink flamingos, which is weird.
It's like, what kids are gonna get that?
Yeah, I don't. I was clearly the only person who got it in the audience. Me and maybe the kid who kept sitting in every seat in the theater. He might have got it. He was like my favorite. I was like, I love this kid. He's making this movie so interesting. What scene is he gonna sit in next? That one. Whoa, Abrams, talk about a mystery box. And then JJ was sitting behind me. He was like, stop saying that mystery box joke, Jim. Stop it. I was like, why are you seeing the Road Trip? And he's like, I need somewhere to hide.
All right. Digital Arrow asks, have you guys watched Gurren Lagann? If so, what are your thoughts on it?
Hell fucking yes, it's the best.
Wait, what's
So good.
I have not watched it entirely. I've watched the first few episodes.
What is this?
Kill La Kill for fully.
It's
but
an
you've not
anime.
seen Gurren
Oh, is it
Lagann,
good?
Which is one of the best animated series ever, and it gets you so fucking hype, and your boner's in fucking orbit by the end of episode 1, and then it only increases from there. It's so fucking good. Go watch it. If you don't, all right, it's real talk. If no one's seen Gurren Lagann, you need to watch Nate, the best guy ever. He did a video review on it. There's spoilers at the end, but watch the beginning. If you're not hyped for the fucking show by 3 minutes in, you're fucking something's wrong with you. But go watch it. It's fucking amazing. It's so good. The animation's fantastic. The story's great. The characters are gripping. And it's just so fucking hype. And it just delivers on every fucking facet of human greatness projected onto cells of animation. Go see it!
See what?
I
See
saw
Wood Fight.
Oh.
Go,
I
fuck.
so wanted Saber to come in and go, "What are you talking about?" Oh, that it's okay.
He missed his chance.
It's like, I don't know.
Paleo, seriously, watch.
Okay, yeah, I will at some point. I say
Sorry,
that with
that wasn't
everything.
that funny. Sorry. Anything else?
You guys got one?
Someone asked, who was it? Ozzy asked us what films and TV shows we're looking forward to this year.
Civil War, Rogue One,
Finding Dory.
just pick. Oh, that's the Pixar.
Yeah.
That's the Pixar this year. Doctor Strange is one.
Is Doctor Strange this year or next year?
This year.
It's
This
this
year,
year.
right? I'm
This
fucking
year.
hyped as shit for Doctor Strange.
I forget. Oh, I'm actually excited for Suicide Squad, but not Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
I'm excited
is-
for Batman v Superman. I want to see how bad it sucks.
Yeah, I think everybody's like
I'm pretty stoked for the fail right now.
it's such a
Fail
disaster.
whale that will be Batman v Superman.
I don't think there's any animated things. Well, what was that thing you posted, Paleo, that's coming to AMC theaters?
Oh yeah, the Boy and the Beast. It's from the same director of Wolf Children and Summer Wars.
Whoa, what? That's
Yeah.
coming out in theaters?
Yeah, in AMC theaters.
Holy shit!
When is that happening?
February.
Cool. I think
What?
But
Yeah,
Oh my god.
because it came out in Japan in last summer.
it hasn't been
Holy
released
fuck.
here yet,
That
right?
just like
Right.
went to #1. Soda's films are fucking awesome. Yeah, that's like the #1 thing I'm hyped for now. I'm really
Okay.
excited to see. Is the new season of Daredevil coming out this year? Or is that next year?
Yes,
Yeah.
that comes out the same weekend as Batman v Superman.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Speaking of
man.
that, BoJack is gonna be having this third season.
Oh,
This
same
year?
weekend?
What? Oh no, not
Wait.
that same weekend. It's sometime this year. But we don't know yet.
BoJack season 3's this year too. Oh my god!
Did you hear about-
Kick ass?
Actually, did you hear about the BoJack Horseman guy pitched an episode for Full House?
Really?
What?
Because apparently they were like just finding people, and he was like, "Can I pitch?" And they're like, "Okay." And his I don't think it was actually like that, but his pitch apparently was that DJ wouldn't want to tell her kids that she loved them because everyone she told that to died in a car accident, and his theme for the episode was that she came to this realization and wouldn't say it, and one of her kids was like realized it, like she wasn't saying it, was like bothering her, and she has this, of course, like BoJack Horseman-esque emotional breakdown. I was like, oh my god, that is like amazing. I would love that show, but of course they are not. You know what the thing that bugs me about Fuller House is? Bob Saget used to always make fun of Full House, and hearing he's coming back ruins all of that for me. It just anyway, but BoJack Horseman is the real good Full House reboot to me.
All right, from Ari Pena, what's your favorite fourth wall breaks on a cartoon?
I don't even know. I don't think
The Chowder one, where they run out of money and they just stop animating, and it's just the voice actors. I love that one.
Well, actually, I like the Gumball, the similar Gumball one.
Yeah, that one's great too.
And it keeps devolving, and it turns from storyboards to post-it notes.
Yeah.
and then it evolves back. That was crazy. That was like, I was like, holy shit, am I really watching this? I can't think of other fourth wall ones.
Yeah, I know Chowder had
prob-
like a ton of them.
There was probably one in Family Guy that was hilarious.
I remember there was this one. I was watching Adult Swim one night, and there was an episode of Family Guy where they did like a cutaway, but they just did like the script to the cutaway because they were like, they was like, here, read for once, and they just did the script to the cutaway. I was like, wow, is this really happening? And then he said, and then like Peter said, oh, that might have worked better if we actually did it.
Oh, the biggest fourth wall break is one time I was watching the Snorks, and I turned my TV off, and I had to deal with myself.
What?
Sorry.
I don't think that was a fourth wall break.
Wasn't there one with Metal Gear Solid? This is a video game where
What,
somebody
Psycho
with-
Mantis?
Yeah. I never played Metal Gear, so I don't know.
It's pretty good.
I mean, it's not Snorks good, but it's up there, I guess. I don't know.
from Luke. What do you lot think about As Told by Ginger being rebooted when nobody really asked for it?
Yeah, this is seriously, Tom. You were saying this. We are. It's the nostalgia is coming back now, and like it was coming back, but now it's like full force crazy coming back.
I think Jurassic World started the real success of this, and now of course everyone's just going to blame Star Wars for it, but really.
Like Jurassic World's like, yes.
I knew it fault it. It's just Star Wars.
Yeah, I noticed like the weekend Star Wars came out, everyone complaining about Jurassic World bring back making millennial nostalgia huge. Just it all changed to Star Wars. I was like, wow, that was quick. We just forgot 6 months. Okay. No, it is millennial nostalgia is worse than baby boomer nostalgia, and it troubles me how.
Why?
Because millennials are going to have be the main purchasing power generational group in, I believe, 2017 or 2018. And the fact that they're not infatuated with, which is our generation, I just made the cut, yes, is disturbing, because it shows me that we're too obsessed with things from our youth and we're not interested in new ideas. We're just reliving brands over and over again, and that's a real concern. It's like, it's fun to see Star Wars, and I really liked seeing a new Star Wars movie, but I'm watching other things, and the fact that we're so just regurgitating brands is like a little disturbing to me, you know?
Yeah. Agree. I 100% agree. At first I was like, cool, it's coming back, but now it's like, it seems so forced, and that makes me really sad.
It seems like a forced awaken. Sorry. No, but it does concern me, because I think I thought more of my generation than this, and I think they're worse than the baby boomers were in terms of nostalgia.
Well, this is what happens when people can't afford houses.
Well, well,
thanks, baby boomers.
That was good.
It is a little less racist than the baby boomers, but yeah.
Whoa, damn, Paleo for the win there.
White people. I'm just saying.
But yeah, I don't know. I liked As Told by Ginger, but I think we need to kind of look at things and go.
I have no fond memories of that show.
No,
we're like,
their lip lock down here on their mouths is weird.
We should look at like things and go, how can we legitimately make this new and fresh and keep this going and make an interesting story?
That's why I'm interested in the reboot.
What? Oh yeah,
they're making a reboot of reboot.
Yeah.
Oh wait, of just reboots? What are we gonna call them
now? We're calling them revamps.
Oh.
We call them bottom of the barrel.
Speaking of, there was actually a topic that I had before we went to the Q&A, and it was about there's gonna be a revamp or reboot of Tales from the Crypt, and it's being led by M. Night Shyamalan.
Wow, that's a twist.
It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. It's already dead.
The twist is it sucks.
I think if they just stick to what the original show did and just take stories from the comics.
Real talk for a second. Can we just make new shit?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Too dangerous.
Please just make new shit.
Too dangerous. Do you all think eventually nostalgia will go run its course? Where
No.
Where there will be eventually, like, people get so tired of old stuff that there'll be a brand new way of doing things?
No, the only thing for that to happen is for aliens to invade and destroy all of us, and then we have to restart.
No,
the whole problem is that, think about it, like, we lived through, like, G.I. Joe and Transformers and shit. That was, like, the last generation's nostalgia, and we were just like, oh, this is kind of cool, I kind of remember this. But now it's our turn, and we're gonna get fucked, and then, like,
well, you know what's gonna happen?
10 years younger than us are gonna get fucked, and the cycle just goes forever. We just weren't aware of it until it was our childhood getting fucking raped right in front of us.
when kids now grow up, they'll be nostalgic for things that were introduced for them from a nostalgic viewpoint, and so nostalgia will lose meaning.
Double nostalgia. Okay, you're talking about how the only way this would happen, we can start over, is if aliens wipe out Earth, we get to start over again. Even then, humans be nostalgic. Like, remember that time we fought off those aliens and we had good time.
I can't wait for like the 2030 reboot of Gravity Falls.
I can't wait till they do that and get two kids from Disney Channel shows do the voices.
Right, exactly.
I can't wait for the reboot Steven Universe as well. Let's start it right now.
Let's be honest. The one that's going to get rebooted is going to be Adventure Time.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
If anything's going to get the reboot, it's going to be Adventure Time. It'll
Well,
be
I hope it's
SpongeBob,
just
but then
dark and
go
gritty.
on.
Because if it's not, I don't want to see it. It better be a
Yeah,
dark.
I hope the guys are doing
No,
Batman.
no, Adventure Time's not going to be rebooted. It's just going to go on forever, like SpongeBob.
Jeez.
When will the Simpsons die?
Never.
Never.
Well, anyway, it's like 11, so I should go.
Let's call it a night.
Yeah, let's end the show.
I think we've ranted and rambled enough.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We've Kylo Ren this podcast.
You can only use those things once, dude.
Force choking you right through the window.
I know, sorry. Well, it's like poetry, it rhymes.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Paleo's like, I shake my head at this whole thing.
It's gonna be great. Every scene is so dense.
So much going on.
Yeah. All right, yeah.
All right, thanks you guys for coming out to the POS podcast. We'll be here again in 2 weeks and talk
I
about
will.
stuff then.
All
So,
right.
see ya. Bye. I'm gonna stop streaming. Hold on.
Wait.
I need to press the button. Okay, I pressed the button.
Okay.
Fuck those fucking viewers.
Oh, we actually.
All right, I'm gonna keep that in.
That's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine. They all hate me anyway.